Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, B-Funk. Thinking right out here in my lab, and I'm back in the Book of the Dead. We got some good lessons coming out of here. I'm going to give you 10 definitions of words that will help increase your self-knowledge, understanding who you are. Let's go. Rightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Let's go. Rightism, 25, excuse me, right thinking, mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission, and I'm on it, is to all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do for you. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not. It knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself and always to Maya be true. Right thinkers, I'm going to give you 10 words, the definition of 10 words that will help you increase your knowledge of self. These are important words to have the definition of to understand. Let's go to increase your self-knowledge, knowledge of self, okay? First one is philosophy, okay? School class is about to start. The teacher's about to get on duty. Let's rock. The first word is philosophy. Let me break it down for you. I got a whole grocery list of information, definition of philosophy. Let's go. Philosophy has been defined as a speculative means mental, okay, inquiry concerning the source of nature, the nature of human knowledge, and a system of ideas, concepts based on such thinking, aka right thinking. But in this work, the idea of philosophy will be confined to the modes of thinking, aka again, right thinking, that's employed for the purpose of you transforming the human mind. This will lead you to achieve your personal, transpersonal state of consciousness, meaning you're getting smarter, you're getting more intelligent, you're getting information that's going to help you to know yourself. And in its original sense, philosophy is a mental discipline. Right there. I practice mental discipline daily of the spiritual truth that I learned. And you can do the same to know yourself. With mental discipline, it will lead a person to spiritual enlightenment. That's how it's done. If you don't have the mental discipline and the wherewithal to follow the rules, you'll never become enlightened. In modern times, today, this lofty notion of philosophy has come to be regarded as unscientific speculation. Now you're getting opinions. Or even as an opinion or belief. I don't do belief, I don't do opinion. I need facts, and that's what I rely on. Okay, of one person or a group versus another. Specifically, we will look at the Hermeticism and as a philosophy, spiritual philosophy, as psychological transformation, giving you information that's going to make you smarter while understanding who you are mentally, becoming conscious of who you are. That's the purpose, that's the goal, and that's the intent for learning. You get the information, reflect on it, meditate on it, and then you implement it, and now you have it. It's yours. Never forget. Understand this. Okay, The words are not the reality. No. Only reality is reality, and that's what Maya teaches. You picture symbols. Pictures, symbols are just the idea. Words can be confusion. Okay? Why? Misinterpretation, misunderstanding. That's why we're trying to get the definition so everybody be on the same page when you speak the word. Everybody has the same definition of it. That's why before you have a conversation, let's get boundaries. Let's get understanding. This word means that. This word means that. So we know where we're going. Okay? That's important when you engage in conversing. All right? But yourself, the self ultimate reality is not known through daily study of the scripture. No, through subtlety of the intellect, meaning you get smarter. Nope. Nor through much learning, and I practice every day. But by you who longs for it to be known, meaning you're going to implement it, you're going to practice it. I call it my own practice. Shitaneta, Shmatawi, Egyptian yoga, philosophy, Maya. But once I mastered it, it became mine. Now it's right thinking philosophy, but still a philosophy. So again, the caveat, one caveat with any true philosophy must follow. Is the understanding that the words in themselves cannot capture the ultimate essence of reality. No. Words can be a trap to the highly developed intellect, those who go get little degrees in college and think they're better than everybody else and they have that condescending attitude, or I'm Dr. So-and-so, Professor so-and-so. Those kind of people, okay? All intellect, no knowledge. So therefore, we must always keep in mind that words and philosophical discourse, misinterpretation, misunderstanding, can only point the way to truth. You have to do walking. You have to do the proving. You have to put the work in. So in order for you to discover your truth, you must go beyond all words, all thoughts, and all our mental concepts and philosophies, because the truth, as Hermetic and Vedanta philosophies would say, can only be experienced. Right thinking philosophy. You can hear me talking to you, you can listen and understand it, but if you ain't implementing it, you ain't using it, it's a waste of time. So it cannot be encapsulated in any way, shape, or form. You have to do it. So the study of philosophy, and I do, in its highest form, and I have, is being able to assist a student. I'm a teacher. That's the highest form. When you have it, now you can what? Instruct and give it to somebody else. That's why y'all go to school and get the degree. I get all that. But when it comes to real life, I don't need no damn degrees. So, but the student should be understanding of his or her own mind, meaning thinking for yourself. I don't want to tell you how to think. I'm just teaching you how to think right. And in order for you to be able to transcend from ignorance to enlightenment, you have to put work in. And thus, your experience, you will have to experience the transcendental reality which lies beyond the words, the thoughts, the concepts, and the mental notions. Mental conceptions are all based on our own worldly experience of how we understand and interpret what it is we're learning. Experience is the best teacher. They help us to understand the world as the senses perceive it, the physical body, what you can smell, see, hear, touch, and taste. Those are the five senses. That's how the body gets the information to the brain. But it goes beyond that. We've been telling that since forever. But since all your body can perceive nature, reality, no, it can't. It just thinks it does. However, when clinging to your life experience as your only reality, will preclude your discovery of other forms of reality or existence which lies beyond the capacity of one's senses. I mean, it's some other than the physical body, the astral plane, the mind game. That's where you want to be proficient at. A dog's faculty of sense way sharper than ours, the vision of a hawk are much superior over the human being. So we have limited skill with our perception over animals who are way sharper, okay, because they were built that way. We wasn't built that way. We're built to think. We're spirit beings having a human experience, okay? We're not animals. We're not instinctive beings. Most people react. When you react to situations, that's instinctive. That's animalistic. I used to did that lesson about getting over my control of my anger by punching people in the face back in the day. I was a puncher. Okay, now I'm a thinker. Why? You can't keep doing that. That's why it's consequences that come with that action. I teach that, so I had to realize that for myself, and I did. But wrap this one up with philosophy. However, the human has one advantage, and understand this. You got conscious, which is superior to all your senses and scientific instruments. That's what? The intuitional mind. That's my girl I said. When it's purified, when it's enlightened, when it's put to use and functioning at its top by the daily practice of yoga philosophies, aka right thinking, and spiritual disciplines that you can govern yourself by and practice daily to what? Master for yourself. Ancient mystical philosophical systems have as their main goal what? The destruction of the limited concept, the ego mind, and the illusions of one's mind. In essence, the philosophies related to your understanding of nature and yourself and the human beings place in it where the first disciplines which practice what would today be called transpersonal psychology. Meaning you're changing yourself. You're changing the way you think. You're thinking wrong, now you're thinking right. That's a transformation. That's transpersonal psychological change for your better. That is the system of psychology, which is to assist us in our going beyond our personal, limited, ego-based mind and aspects of our psyche in order for you to truly discover what lies beyond the personal relating to your personality. You have to become one with what? Your higher self. Is all mental. God is what? Mental. He stays in the temple that's not built with human hands. That's between your ears. That's up here and down here. Okay, another word. Ooh, that's just one. Jesus Christ. You got to learn. I'm breaking it down and trying to go through it the best I could for you. Metaphysics ain't going to be that long. But metaphysics is the branch of philosophy that systematically investigates first causes of nature, aka the beginning, the universe, and the ultimate reality. The term comes from the Greek metaphysica, meaning after the things of nature. In Aristotle's work, and he got his knowledge from Egypt, he envisioned that the first philosophy came after physics. Metaphysics has been divided into ontology, or the study of the essence of beings, or that which is or exists, aka cosmology, okay, the beginning. The study of the structure and the laws of the universe and the manner of its creation. We all have a creation story. Every group of people, every race, every culture has a creation story. It's who's right to make a difference. It's a story. Get the teaching. That's the idea of the mythology. And for all my Christians, I love y'all. But the book is a mythological book, not a literal book. From time of immemorial, philosophers such as those who wrote our ancient Egyptian creation myth. I read them all. That's how I understand. I read the Chinese, I read the Vedic, the Indian. Everybody has a story. Native Americans, everybody has a story. And creation myth. And then the Greeks, they famous for what? Mythology. I learned them first. I got Greek mythology. And everything that I learned from them when I went to Egypt, it was the same thing. Just black. They was white. I didn't look at the color when I was kid. I didn't see black and white. I just saw knowledge. So I didn't get caught up in the color thing. Well, I just took the knowledge. I learned about the Greek mythology, good stories. Loved it. Served me well until I went and got the real deal that said, you, Samuel, get him. Okay, he call you MF. He's the best MF caller I know. But the Greek philosophers, such as, and these all both came from Egypt, Plato and Aristotle, to more modern philosophers, such as this guy called Whitehead and Kant. I know him. He book writer of good philosophy. But they have written on metaphysics, modern time concept. Skeptics, however, have charged that speculation, which cannot be verified by objective evidence, is useless. That's what the belief system is based on. No proof, no facts. They just want you to believe. And when you come down to it, yeah, it's useless. However, these skeptics do not realize that what they consider as objective reality is not objective at all, since objectivity is based on perception of the senses, the 5 parts of the body. And as just discussed, modern science itself has proven that the human senses cannot perceive the phenomenal universe as it really is. Again, all we can do is perceive and conceive and conceptualize. Further, the objective information that can be gathered by scientific instruments is only valid under certain conditions. This makes it relative and not absolute information. All information ain't right information. Thus, what people ordinarily consider to be real and abiding is not. Taken from Einstein. Why? Einstein proof is relativity confirms this. There must be something real beyond the phenomenal world, which what sustains it. How did we get there? Somebody's in control. And Mamel Degrassi, he breaks them down with scientific concepts. But the search for what that higher essence we call God is the purpose of philosophy, to get understanding, and they use metaphysics for the proof. Therefore, the value of metaphysical and mystical philosophy studies is evident. They work together hand in hand to make a point. You can't argue facts. Okay, you can believe what you want, but skepticism means nothing. Useless information that don't amount to nothing means nothing. Let's talk about psychology. Oh, it's about to get good. I see the clock. Okay. Psychology is used by ordinary practitioners of society. We got a bunch of psychiatrists. My boy is Carl Jung. Learning about this thing here. Everybody's a psychiatrist within themselves. Okay, when you breaking down your problem, talking to somebody, I call sitting on the couch, and they give you advice. If the person you're talking to know what they're doing, they can give you good advice to help you in life. I'm here every day to do that, but you ain't got to lay on the couch with me. Okay, I do all the talking. All you got to do is listen and practice what I give you. And it has been defined as the study of what? The thought process characteristics of an individual or even a group. Mind, psychic, ethos, mentality. All these are doing with this, the brain. In this work, psychology, we will focus on the Hermeticism as a psychological discipline. They broke down the Maya philosophy that they live by for understanding what? The human mind, aka right thinking, and its source of higher development and transformation. However, mystical psychology in reality does not relate only to the mind. But since a human being is composed of several complex aspects of his character, the term personality, as it is used in the yoga philosophy, implies one's mind, the body, and the spirit. That's the mind, body, and soul concept. They took care of every aspect of the body, and as well as the conscious, subconscious, and the unconscious aspects of one's personality, aka your mind. So therefore, the discipline of psychology must be expanded to include what? Your physical as well as your spiritual aspects of yourself, your character. I'm in the gym every day. What? Keep the body in shape. Study, learn, to keep the mind fresh, keep the mind sharp, to teach those who want to learn. Once again, modern medical science has, within the last 20 years, acknowledged the understanding that health cannot be treated as a physical problem only. You can't separate the body, mind, spirit. They all got to be treated the same. They all got to be taken care of. But as one which involves the mind, body, and spirit, likewise, your spiritual teachings must be related as what we call spiritual disciplines, which involves not only your soul of the individual, but also the mind and body as well. So in other words, the entire human being is being taken care of when you practice the yoga philosophy. That's what right thinking philosophy is, the yogic philosophy. Okay, speaking of yoga, perfect segue. Now, let's define yoga. I got a couple more. I'm not get them all in, but I'm going to get to it best I could. Let's talk about yoga. It's a philosophy that's been practiced in India forever. After they got it from Egypt, they transformed it and called it yoga. Let's talk about yoga. The literal meaning of the word yoga is to yoke or to link back, to get you to source, to get you to God. That's the concept in a nutshell. But the implication is to link back the individual consciousness, your mind, your human personality, to its original source. What is this original source? Therein lies the problem with a lot of people who are ignorant of what? The original source. They talk God, they believe in God, but they don't know what it's about to be God. That's why we give you yoga philosophy to practice to get you to God. Watch this. And, your universal consciousness, that's God. In the broad sense, yoga is any, watch this, process which helps one to achieve what we call spiritual liberation or freedom from the ignorant bondage to the pain of spiritual ignorance of self. When you don't know you and you're running by the ego, you're going to have problems. Trust me, we talk about the fetters, and you are bound to what? For your ignorance to what? The material world. This crowd's pissing me off. All right, so by be it studying your spiritual wisdom's teachings, exercising daily, fasting, and meditation, and also breathing control, rituals, chants, prayers, etc. These are all things you personally do. You do that. I commune with God every day. Have been for the last 15 years. You can't tell me nothing about God that I don't know for myself. I'm trying to help those who don't know God to know them for themselves. That's what I'm trying to do. I ain't trying to convince you of God. No. You can find that out for yourself. I'm just giving you the things that's going to help you do just that. And yoga teaches that. Studying spiritual disciplines. And watch this. Now, when you are practicing yoga, anything that's getting you closer to God is a yoga philosophy. Be it Christian, Islam, Muslim, don't make a difference. Religion, they all are in pure form yoga. Why? To get you to God, linking you to God. If the goal is for you to help you yourself to discover your own essential nature, aka God, as one being with God, or we call it the supreme being or supreme consciousness, then you are practicing a yoga philosophy. Yoga, Sanskrit, is the word for what? Union. Between who? You and your higher self, mentally within yourself, in your meditative state of mind. And in the term we use for a number of disciplines, the goal for each human being, is to lead the practitioner to attain union with the universal consciousness. That means God. You got to become one with God in your mind. In present day India, the yoga philosophy that they use is based on several Indian texts, such as the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, or the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. These are all philosophical yoga concepts that they practice and have been for thousands of years. Tried, tested, and true. Okay? And several other yoga treatises developed in India again, The practice of yoga generally involves daily meditation of moral and showing moral restraints. I call it spiritual discipline. I practice just that. Moral restraints, the ethics, and the awakening spiritually of one energy centers, aka the chakras, in the body through specific postures. I told you Tantra yoga get you all the different positions, okay, in asanas or physical exercise, breathing exercise techniques. All yoga disciplines are devoted to freeing one's soul or your individual self from your worldly ignorance, mental restraints due to your ego. They have become popular now in the West as a means of self-control and relaxation. Everybody's practicing yoga. Yoga is the big thing now, okay? So, but this specific form of yoking or linking back, that was practiced, ready, in ancient Egypt. And we called it Smatawi, Egyptian yoga. That's what right there the philosophy is patterned after. Or we got the union of the two lands, the upper and lower, in essence, the opposites, higher and lower. Higher meaning Haru, lower meaning Set. The lower nature, not good. Higher nature, good. And the self or your soul, and all this is done internally through spirit. Inside, internal work. That's becoming an internal alchemist. Change your way of thinking, change your yoga philosophy, and change yourself. Religion. I'm going to stop with this one. I'm going to end up with this one because I always want to get this in. Let's define religion. You see, it follows yoga for a reason. We just broke down yoga. Now let's look at religion. All religions tend to be deistic at the elementary level. Meaning, yeah, I call it baby food. It's good in the beginning. But most often, it manifests as an outgrowth of a cultural concepts of people as they try to express their deeper feeling, which they perceive for themselves, though not in its entirety. Thus, deism is based on limited spiritual knowledge. You're going out with somebody telling you, you ain't using the truth. It ain't based on truth. It's based on what somebody wants you to believe they're telling you the truth. Deism as a religious belief, right there, or form of theism, holds what? That God's actions was restricted to a initial act of creation. And then what? After which he retired. Right there. Stop. My ancient Egyptian philosophical concepts tell me that's not possible. That's not why. God is in his creation. You can't separate us from God. And that's what you did, which he retired and separated to contemplate his majesty of his work. Not right. Deist holds, watch this. Y'all got these sayings, but in the proof behind it. And the deist says what? That the natural creation is regulated by laws put in place by God. Those are Hermetic principles. We know that. At the time of creation and inscribed with perfect moral principles. That's Ma'at. We know that. Well, everybody don't, excuse me. But watch this. Ma'at is based on principles. Okay, moral, ethical conduct. A deeper study of religion, if you want to get into it, watch this, and I've done it, will reveal that its original understanding, it seeks to reveal the deeper, essential nature of creation and the human heart and their relations to God. God dwells in the heart of his creation, not separate, up high, looking down low. That nonsense, but that's a deism philosophy that they teach. I don't practice it. But which transcends deistic models of doctrine. Their dogma is not on point. But the term religion comes from the Latin religare, which again uses the root word re, meaning going back, which means back. Okay, legion, okay, legion, which means to hold, to link, to bind. So therefore, the essence of the true religion, when it's practiced and is correctly, is the same as yoga. In its purest form, it's the same. It's supposed to do the same thing yoga. I gave the breakdown with me and my pastor. He went his route, I went my route. We both ended up at the same place. So you can take any route you want to get there. I made that point. That was that. So, and they both are what? Yoga. Religion is yoga philosophy. But that is linking what? Back specifically, linking your soul, the soul of your individual, back to its originals. We want to go back to God. I tell you what, this is my philosophy. Our spirits are known from God. He wants it back, but he wants it purified. You wash it, clean it, purify it, and then bring it back. I'll accept it and know who the hell you are. So that's where the idea know thyself comes from. You can't go home without knowledge of self. The spirit needs to be conscious of who it is. The physical body don't mean jack. That's the training ground to get you to be that what? Enlightened. To learn and be your best self. This is the training ground. So, although religion in its purest form is a yoga system, okay, understand that. That's why I respect religion. I just don't respect the people who mispractice it, misinterpret it, misunderstand it, and use it for the wrong purpose. That I got a problem with. Simple. And incorporating the yoga disciplines within its teachings, they differ here, there, they go. Okay, but the original intent for religion and the meaning of religious scripture are often misunderstood, if not distorted, or even corrupted. So that means it can't be trusted. If you got a police that on the tape, he can't be trusted. Okay? No, he ain't doing his job, he's doing him. So again, integrity goes a long way. But when the information is distorted, misunderstood, or even corrupted, it won't serve its purpose. This occurs because religions have developed in different geographical areas, which is true. As a result, the lower levels of religion, the base form, which are mixed with the culture, historical events, stories, traditions, mythologies, allegories, all these is the teaching purposes behind religion, and it have developed somewhat independently and thereby appear to be different from each other. You got all these religions, Pentecostal, this one and that one, because everybody had their own concept of what they wanted and didn't want. So they got different spin-off groups, different groups. Everybody doing what they want to do. It's not uniform. That's the difference, and that's the problem. Okay, well, I'm this, I'm that. Ain't you Christian? Oh, I'm so-and-so. I'm this, that. Too much. So religion really, okay, and what happens when you got that splinter off type, you got these misunderstanding, misinterpretation, they lead to what? Confusion and animosity amongst the people who are ignorant of the true process of religious movement. Those preachers who preaching for themselves, those guys, they don't do right by the service of religion. They do it right by themselves. So they gaining and what monetary thing. The people they teaching not gaining nothing. If your church ain't growing, ain't profit, what y'all getting together for? Why y'all even doing this? If it ain't going, we ain't doing that. That's why a lot of churches fold. Why? When the money start coming in, party's over. Moving on. If you can't get them to bring the money, you can't be in business. Moving on. So religion consists, again, even practice religion got 3 levels. I keep telling y'all that as a Mason. And myth, ritual, and the mystical experience. The myth is the story. The ritual is you practicing. But the mystical experience happens if you do the first 2 things right and correct. The third will happen. That's the Kundalini experience that y'all gonna have. We call it mystical experience. But the Kundalini serpent will activate because what? You're living right, you're doing right. So that's how it happens. In the first 2 levels, if the first 2 levels are what? Misunderstood, and they are, and a whole lot of it accepted literally. Again, if you take the Bible literally, you are a fool. The spiritual movement will fail to proceed to the next higher level. Y'all will never reach the mystical experience. You'll never get in touch with God. Why? Because y'all too busy believing the lie. And the lie is to take you, what? Out the way so you don't get to God. So, in order for a religious experience to lead one to have his or her mystical experience, you got to put work in on the right side. I got church family, they all do what they're supposed to do, and they get the benefits of doing that. So they good, what I call good Christians. I go to other church, ain't no love in there. There's a bunch of people, but ain't no spirit in there. my house is spiritual. And anybody come in there and say, man, the spirit is strong. Yeah, the force is strong with those who are honest and earnest with what they believe. I don't give a damn what it is, but just be honest. That's all. A lot of y'all just ain't honest with God. So you're never going to be connected to him. And all three levels of religion must be completed. Practice and master. Same thing. Completed, master, same thing. So again, if you're a Christian, good Christian, I got nothing but respect and love for you. If you're Muslim, same thing. Jew, same thing. It don't change. I don't pick and choose. This or that. That's it. Ain't no bunch of stuff to do. Decide either I'm with you or not with you. You're good or you're not good. Whoa. Let me stop this. I see. Oh Lord. I'll be back. You already know the deal. We got through, I think, 5. I got 5 more to go. But I want to break the religion down for you. Hope you understand it. I'm not anti-religion. I understand and respect religion. I'm anti-people who BS with religion. That's all. And God. If you ain't sincere with God, don't mess with me. Why? Because I am. If you're not, I'll find out and I'll let you know I'm out. Moving on. Right thinkers, hope you enjoyed the lesson. Oh, I'm having fun right now. I'll be back with the next lesson, part 2, to defining words that help you know you. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 miles a day. So I never know that my right thinkers who now understand the definition of words that help them be better and faster way. I'll be right back with some more.